Hello everyone, this is Rahul from Opus. Today we are going to discuss about rule of thirds and how it is important to create a visual compositions and put visual elements in a given space so that it a nice well balanced image comes out which can be used in various illustration, design, films, paintings and photographs. So as you see, the guideline that proposes an image should be like divided. A given space shall be divided into 9 equal parts by two equally spaced horizontal lines. Suppose if you see here, so you see this space. This is an entirely a square, and these two lines, these two horizontal line divides the this square into three equal spaces along with this vertical line. So we have 9 equally divided spaces here. Okay, and you see we have marked the intersection of this grid of this square where it is divided into 9 equal parts, and these intersections are of particular interest. And if we put certain visual elements of a given composition in these areas, the image comes out to be very well balanced, and it looks very interesting and visually appealing. So let's see how it is done. Okay, so suppose we consider this one, like this entire white space, this entire white space as a as our space where we will design a composition. Okay, now we can divide the same white space into 9 equal parts. All right, and suppose we take this and stretch it out, and now we have the same like the same space, this rectangular space, which is divided into 9 equal parts. And we have also, suppose, these areas that we see as the intersection as marked. All right, so this becomes our guideline for creating a well balanced composition. So we will see how it is done and how we can use these guidelines to create and compose an image. So if we reduce the entire thing's opacity to something, so we just have the idea about where the guidelines are. And then let's place these visual elements to create a composition. So let's first use this one as a marker for our, suppose, water. All right, so this space is water. Okay, then we use this element, which is the boat itself. We'll try to place it somewhere near closer to the intersection of these grids, which is this area, the intersection of these two lines. So this one you see is like the space where we will put one of the most important element of our visual composition, that is the boat itself. Okay, so closer to the intersection of those two lines, because we have already marked it. Okay, then now we have the sun, and let's put the sun somewhere here. Okay, so if we now close that guide itself, so you will see this entire space has been designed using the rule of thirds, and we have placed the important elements of the visual composition at the right intersections of those vertical and horizontal lines. And this is how you will see most various visual compositions has been done using this dividing a given white space into rule of thirds, and then placing the important elements of the composition into the visual composition into that intersection. Okay, so in this way also, suppose in this illustration it is we have only three elements. So if we have multiple elements, so we have to understand which element is the most important and how you can compose that around that this grids. So some of the most important element of the composition which shows the main subject of the visual, main subject of the visual, you shall always try to compose it or place it somewhere around the intersection of this. So there can be in number various kind of possibilities, but to understand, to first so that you can start with, this is one of the most simplest form to understand how to put various elements in a given space by dividing the space into rule of thirds. So I hope you can understand how to use, you could understand how to use these elements and place it at the right place. And to start with, you can do the same method in your own in a separate piece of paper and try to draw it, divide the space, and then draw the important elements into that intersections. And then you can move on to other kind of compositions where there are various, where the subject is different, and see how you can put that same elements of that same particular subject around these intersections and how it can come out really nicely. Okay, so I hope this lesson helps you understand how rule of thirds are used and how rule of thirds can be used to create a composition. Try this on what, and then take some other subjects and try to use that as your reference. Use this rule of third as a reference to compose those images. So keep practicing like this and try to compose various visual designs in the on the by using rule of thirds, and your composition will start appearing to be start looking very balanced, well balanced, and interesting to look at. So I hope this lesson helps you a lot. Thank you.